everyone, I'm really happy to be back with this new video. And in this video I'm going to talk about the energies for October. So we are feeling it right now. Things are really intensifying globally. And we are starting to feel that the storm is rumbling. And I will be, of course, talking about this in this video, but also why it is now time to take a stand. And I will also talk about divine justice, because yes, divine justice is coming. So the energy for October, well, first of all, we are all feeling that things are really intensifying on Earth right now. It's starting to feel very chaotic, and we can really feel that the winds of chaos are blowing and, kind of unraveling everything all around us. And certainly we are experiencing currently this kind of dismantling of the structures of control on this planet, which, of course, because it is reflected collectively, we can also feel that it is happening inside us. So we are all experiencing this kind of dismantling of the structure of our egos, which can create a lot of friction, a lot of kind of dual fight within us, because the ego still resists, is still resisting. And we can really feel this kind of storm rumbling because there is so much pressure right now. There is a lot of pressure on both sides. There's pressure from the light because it is, going forward. And there is pressure from the dark because it's still resisting that light that is arriving. So this is currently what is going on. And I've had a really clear vision concerning that aspect. I was seeing almost I was underneath the ground, and I was seeing this very straight beam of light that was moving forward, very straight, there was no turn or anything. It was just moving forward. And just above it, I was seeing different layers of earth, and almost like there were tectonic plates that were moving and kind of creating earthquakes and kind of creating chaos. And the message for me when I saw that was that there is this light that is actually the basis of what is happening, and it's moving forward. Nothing can stop it. But it does create on the surface a kind of chaotic energy. And this, of course, is also reflected within our bodies, because then I saw that this same beam of light was all along our spinal column. I was talking about that in September. I was talking about the importance of posture and being, standing straight in our posture. So this is the same idea. I was really seeing the spinal cord really, really straight. But because there is this light within that is activating, there can be a lot of chaos surrounding that spinal cord, our bodies, for example. So we might be experiencing a lot of fatigue right now. Some of us are, feeling maybe sick as well. I know a lot of people are maybe sicker than before, or at least we are feeling certain symptoms. And this is really the way that our bodies need to clear and purge what needs to be. So this is perfectly normal. If you are going through this right now, just take some time for the body, because the body really is having a tough time right now, trying to adjust. It's trying to assimilate all these light codes and these higher energies, and it can't assimilate everything all at once. So that's why that there is this kind of, we can feel a kind of crisis, also physically and emotionally. And also this relates to the current global crisis that we are going through. We are still talking about, World War III. The media certainly is exacerbating that. We are also having, these US elections coming up, and those are really important elections. So this is also really creating this kind of this pressure and friction from both sides. You can really feel that right now. And this crisis, so I made a post about this on social media some days ago. The word crisis comes from the Greek language and the word krisis, which means decision, which also comes from the verb krisein, I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, which means to discern, to sort, and to separate the grain. So that was really interesting also because I was talking about that in my video in September, you know, like separating and sorting things out, so that we can have this discernment. And so this is really what we're going through right now. And this crisis, when we are feeling this crisis, we are usually feeling like a very heightened uncertainty. We feel that everything is chaotic, and we can also feel a lot of fear. But as the Greek word tells us, it also means decision. So this is why we all have to make a choice right now, collectively, but also individually. Are we choosing stagnation? Are we choosing the dark? Are we choosing the light? Where are we going? Because when we are in crisis, it's almost like we are at this, you know, the crossroads. And we have different paths ahead of us, and we need to choose which path to take. So this is where we are at right now. We are in a situation right now, whether it's globally or personally, where we are called to take a stand. We are called to take our rightful place in this world. We are called to take our power back. We are called to really be in alignment with our souls, with our strength, with our courage, with our light. Because now is the time. And it's been so long that humans have been used, we have been, you know, vampirized, we have been robbed of our energy, of our positivity, of everything. And currently we can see that in Western countries, you know, it really hurts me when I see that now people who are retired or students, they can't even feed themselves anymore. They need to go to charity organizations to have free food. So we are really in these times where enough is enough. We need to really realize that we are not powerless. We have been kind of programmed to feel powerless, to feel victimized, to feel as we are prey and as we are food in a way, because we are constantly being, you know, robbed of our energy, of our money, which is, you know, an extension of our energy, because when we work, we put our energy into it. And this is really the end of that. So we are really called now to, you know, take a stand. And also what we need to know is that the matrix system does not create anything. It can't create anything. It can only use something that has already been created, copy it, and then divert it. And that's also what it does with human beings. It uses human beings as channels for creation. So when we are polluted, when our air is polluted, when our media is constantly negative, when we are, you know, constantly parasited with negativity, then we are, you know, kind of stuck in this very negative and low vibration, where we think negative thoughts, we feel negative emotions, and therefore we create a negative reality. This is how they create the negative reality, because they are using humans as channels. But once humans wake up to that and start saying no, and start really taking a stand and really taking the power back, then it's over. So enough is enough. And there is this saying in French where we say, God vomits the lukewarm. It is actually paraphrased from the book of Revelation, where it is said, so because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will vomit you out of my mouth. So this means that we need to take a stand in life. We need to position ourselves. We need to take our power back. We do not need to stay anymore, you know, like watching passively what is going on. And we also know this famous quote by Einstein, who said, the world will not be destroyed by people who do evil, but people who watch them without doing anything. And that's exactly it. It's time to get involved in energy, in action, and in thought. It's really time to take our rightful place in this beautiful universal symphony that we are all in. And maybe we have some fears about that. And I know it's gonna, you know, it's gonna probably, you know, touch a lot of people when I say that. A lot of people are afraid to take their rightful place, because either they were taught to, that it was maybe dangerous, or maybe they're afraid that if they do, they will take someone else's place. But no one is here to take someone else's place. Everyone has a rightful and really personal place in this world, and that's the beauty of it. And when we take our rightful place in the world, then everything comes into place also universally, globally. And when I read the comments, it's always such a joy to see people who are following me since a couple of years now, and they tell me how much my work has helped them, how much it has helped them evolve and transform their lives. And sometimes also when I meet people in retreats and then I see them again a couple of years later and I see the transformation and I see that they are following their rightful path and also finding their rightful place in the world, it brings me so much joy. Really, I have a lot of gratitude to be able to give that to the world. And I know many of you are really on that path, but I also know that some people are waiting also passively. They're waiting everything to be served to them. And this is really the time, if you stay passive, and then a lot of these people who stay passive, then they complain also that nothing ever changes in their life, or nothing ever changes in the world. But it starts with you. If you don't take action, if you don't take a stand for yourself, nothing is going to change in your reality. You are really arriving at the end of that, and people who do not take action, who do not take a stand, will stay in this kind of stagnation energy and nothing will change for them. There is also divine justice that is coming. And yes, it is slow. Just as the justice on earth, the justice system on earth has this reputation of being very slow, and sometimes divine justice can also feel kind of slow. But it is arriving, and we can see it worldwide. We can see it through all these different arrests that are happening now publicly. I was talking about this last spring, but more so in 2020, when we were in lockdown, I was telling you that there were arrests happening. They were happening in secret, behind the scenes. Now they're made public. Now they are exposed in the media. So it starts with public figures in show business, but there's going to be this domino effect. And a lot of people are going to be exposed, especially people in the political world, but also CEOs and big names in certain industries are going to fall, So this is really happening. And also we need to remind ourselves that divine justice can only occur when we actually acknowledge that it also comes first from within. So what I mean by that is that there is no savior, okay? And I will certainly talk about also in the coming months what's going to happen in this transition to 2025. What we need to know also is that there are these light forces that are working on Earth since a very, very long time. And they are also reflected on Earth through military operations, happening in secret. It is happening, and it really relates to that vision I had, about this kind of light beam that is really kind of working things out, very, very deep into the earth, and then we see only on the surface that things are bubbling up and things are getting really chaotic. It's the same idea. And there is no savior. There's no use in waiting for someone else, for the external world to save us. We are our own saviors. This means that we should not wait passively for the wind of change to arrive, and that justice arrives and divine justice is on earth, etc. We really need to realize that when we position ourselves, when we take a stand, when we take also our rightful place into this world, when we are in action, when we are aligned also with our souls, with our thoughts, with our emotions, then this allows us to connect to the ascension timelines where divine justice happens quicker. It's just that. So the more we are in alignment, the more we are in this knowledge that we are our own savior, and we are responsible for our lives, and we take action, then we allow ourselves to connect to the higher timelines of ascension where divine justice arrives quicker. Because we all know that in the end, divine justice prevails, and we all know that in the end, the light wins. Sat Nam.